Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 1987 Supermod. I'm your host, Brad Drake, and this is my AWA Save. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving along in our touring schedule to live event tour number 90, and tonight the AWA is back in San Francisco. The War Memorial Gym has already been set for our venue this evening, and we are ready to check our backstage incidents. Uh-oh, what's going on with Mr. Saito? He's one of my favorites. He wants to put DJ Peterson over. Wow. That's huge. Thank you, Mr. Saito. We'll keep that in mind. Let's see who's absent tonight. It doesn't look like anybody that we wanted on the card. Folks, we're going to have some fun tonight. This is our card scheduled, but we're going to change around this main event a little bit. And we are going to put Ray Stevens with the Rockers, because remember, Ray Stevens is very big in San Francisco. And with the Midnight Express, we're not going to use Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey. Yeah, you know what? We are. We're going to use Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's a solid main event. And then for our fifth bout, let's drop Oliver and Lawler down one. And let's have Boris Zhukov versus Sergeant Slaughter. So we made a change to our card. We're going to have a six-man in the main event. And this should be fun. Let's see how it goes. First match is going to be Vivian St. John versus Reggie Bennett. Remember, we're fresh coming off that controversy with how Sherry Martel won the title back. And I think we're going to address that on our next television taping. We still have President Stanley Blackburn with us, and maybe it's time for President Blackburn to address the fans and let them know what's going on. All right, we got St. John versus Bennett. This one is booked for us at 10 minutes. Let's see our next bout here. It's going to be the Top Guns versus the Texas Hangmen. And remember, the Texas Hangmen are now managed by Don Carson. And it is working out very well so far. All right, we got our combatants booked here. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to have the Hangmen get the win due to manager interference. And from what I recall, Don Carson spent some time in San Francisco and Los Angeles as a wrestler, so he would naturally draw some heat here. All right, Ali Khan is going to battle DJ Peterson. That match is also 12 minutes. Let me double check on that. Yes, 12 minutes. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that women's title. What's President Blackburn going to say? You have to tune in. We're going to have to find out at that TV taping. We're going to leave this one open-ended. We'll see who wins that one. DeBeers versus Blackwell is going to go 14 minutes. As always, we know that Big Jerry Blackwell can't go more than 15. He just doesn't have the stamina for it. All right, we got that one booked. We're also going to leave that open-ended. We'll let the AI decide who's going to win that one. Oliver versus Lawler. And Let's make this one a little bit different because Oliver does carry some heat in California. Let's have Lawler win by DQ. That makes Oliver look a little bit better. So there we go. We got Oliver versus Lawler booked. And now we're going to have Zhukov versus Slaughter. Jim Nelson was Boris Zhukov's name. He was Private Jim Nelson. And he captured the NWA Georgia tag team title. I forget who his partner was, but one of our previous episodes I was discussing that, and that's how it worked. So Sergeant Slaughter is definitely going to get the win here. So that's who he was before he was Boris Zhukov. Now Saito versus Backlund. Backlund has taken a lot of matches in this feud. So we are going to have Mr. Saito go over here. And he's going to do it by being the stereotypical Japanese wrestler, and he's going to win this one by being dirty. I imagine it would have been something along the lines of throwing powder in Backlund's face, something like that. That's just the way things were back then, and that's going to be the finish of this match. So Mr. Saito is going to go over. It's going to be a tainted victory. And we're booked. It'll still be one hell of a match. Let's make this a technical masterclass again. You know what? Let's not. Let's see how it goes not being a technical masterclass. And the main event is going to be our big six-man tag. This is going to go a half hour. So we have the Midnight Rockers and Stevens versus the Midnight Express and al-Kaissey. Going to go a full 30 minutes here. So obviously it's a non-title match because it's only it's 3 versus 3. So there's our Midnight Express. There's the Midnight Rockers. Go back to singles view. Ray Stevens is in there. And so is Sheik, Adnan, al-Kaissey. Now, we are going to be particular here in this finish. And we're going to have Ray Stevens go over. And it doesn't matter who he beats. We're going to make sure that this one's an epic. And we're really giving the hometown fans in this one what they want, folks. That's what we're trying to do here. This is just a fun mix-up, a fun way to change up a card. Let's see who's overused. Larry Hennig is. And of course, I click on it, and it's not Larry Hennig. So Vern Gagne is going to take the main event. That should take care of Larry Hennig complaining. We're at 2 hours and 23 minutes. Let's give this match a watch, or let's give this event a watch here, folks, and let's see how it goes. All right, Reggie Bennett takes out Vivian St. John. Bennett outscores her. She does a nice job. Here's the Hangmen. There it is. Don Carson interferes. The Hangmen get the win with the Hangman drop. And all 4 of these men did a little bit better than I thought, so they're picking up some steam in the Southwest. See, we're getting progress here. We're doing well. All right, Khan versus Peterson. Peterson takes the victory as expected. Jerry Blackwell beats DeBeers with that drop kick. 400-plus pound man with the drop kick. I like it. There we go, the DQ. There's the DQ win. 79 overall. Oliver saves a little bit of face. Let's see if there's anything on the dirt sheet about this one. Got a lot of bonuses here. A lot of bonuses. Slaughter versus Zhukov. This is disappointing. I figured Slaughter would have scored in the 80s. But what are you going to do? So obviously Zhukov is still gaining popularity. He's part of a hot Russian tag team here, and we're just starting to break into the loop again. Remember, the AWA was shut down a little bit before this, so we've just reopened the other regions. So I'm not disappointed with this score. I think it's a fair score. All right, Saito versus Backlund with an 80 overall. Saito wins by cheating, uses the ropes for leverage, so he didn't use the powder, which I was hoping he would, but that's okay. In my mind, he still used powder. So we got a nice match there, and folks, this is not going to hurt Bob Backlund's steam. I still consider Bob Backlund in the title picture here, but he just lost by a very capable guy who cheated, so this does nothing to hurt Bob Backlund's run towards the title here. So here we are with our big main event, and it only gets a disappointing 77 score overall. And Ray Stevens got a respectable score. So did al-Kaissey. He scored a 73. So it looks like Randy Rose dragged us down over the 62. So Stevens pins al-Kaissey. So technically the Rockers get the win over the champion tag team, but it keeps things clean here. So the fans got what they wanted, and they got to see the Midnight Express lose. They got to see Ray Stevens win. They got to see the Rockers win. This is a win for all. This is a solid main event. Just the overall score is a little bit disappointing, but let's take a look and see what our hits are here. Okay, so again, it's the experience of the Rockers, and Stevens is declining in ability. So I was hoping this one would get at least an 80, but the 77's, okay for now. So obviously, we're almost done with this month. So even if we did score high, I'm doubtful that we would have gotten a popularity bump. So let's finish up the show and let's see what we get overall. We get a 75 overall. That's respectable. Let's make a speech here. Boris Zhukov is improving. So we have to point him out as a good example. Don Carson has done very well here. We have to point out Don Carson for a good performance. He's doing with that team exactly what I hoped he would do as the manager. He is not only a microphone, but he's also active. Don Carson is a very, very experienced retired wrestler, and this is turning out exactly the way I hoped it would. And it looks like Dennis Condrey bounced around like a Super Ball in the main event for these guys. So we got to praise him for a great performance. So let's go ahead and make the speech here, and we'll see how they take it. Zhukov's happy, Carson's happy, and Condrey's happy. And we're happy. And there's Dominic DeNucci, one hell of a wrestler, also a very good trainer, responsible for training Shane Douglas and also Cactus Jack. After we get back to the main screen here, we'll take a look around the game world and see what's going on. Let's check our messages here first. 1.3 million viewers again for Championship Wrestling. Very well. That's doing very well. Eddie Guerrero does a one night with Pacific Northwest, who we have a deal with, and that's just fine with me. Oh, we had a Saturday night's main event. Steamboat over Spivey in the main event. That's a little weak, but it got a really good score. Kind of a strange six-man tag here, but the Bulldogs come out ahead. And then you have some big names over Enhancement talent here. And then a silly, silly match of the one-man gang over Mitch Snow in a cage match. So, while we're on the topic of Mitch Snow, I did a little bit of research and looked into him further than what I had initially looked into him. And Mitch Snow is a lightweight. He is under 220 pounds. He was kind of a small guy. So we're going to make that adjustment here. He was muscular. He was in good shape, but he was not a big guy. So we have to make him realistic to what he was, which was a lightweight. And we're going to adjust him in our spreadsheet right away because this changes things for us. This gives us another light heavyweight. And if you remember, we were talking about a lack of potential chasers for Royals title. So this helps us. So we go ahead, we got that adjustment in there now, and we are good here, folks. Let's go ahead and go back to the game world. Let's check out what's going on. What did WWF do on Prism? You know, we haven't seen Hogan wrestle in a while. Steamboat over One Man Gang. You know what? This is what I looked at before. I didn't look at Saturday night's main event. No, I did. So you trying to tell me you had the same six-man tag match here? No, we had a change-up. It's Funk was in there with the Wild Samoans. What a stupid gimmick that was, Jimmy Jack Funk. So no Hogan on either show, but both get a sellout and a really high score. And look at this awful main event of Volkov over Enhancement talent, Alex Knight. Wow, is that lousy. But it looks like we got some Crockett tapings here. So let's see what Crockett did last night. Dusty Rhodes over Enhancement talent. Garvin over Enhancement talent. See, this makes sense. This is exactly how World Championship Wrestling was. You did have big stars over Enhancement talent, but notice we have no Horsemen here. That's disappointing. They did have a live event with a pretty awful card, 77 overall. Armstrong versus Lasertron in the main event. It's not very entertaining at all. Memphis ran. Let's see what Memphis did for television. Idol over Freezer Thompson. Now, Memphis Vice was a fun tag team. And then you got this other team here called The Future with this Alan West and Roy Lee Welch. For those of you that don't know, Roy Lee Welch is a cousin of the Fullers. And he was a hell of a hand. He was a really good wrestler. He would also wrestle for Continental. Got an ICW event here. That's a decent score for a small independent, 69 overall. Adams over Bruiser Brody in the main event. Wow. That's a big match. This is a big card. This is expensive. They're only drawing 244 people, and they're spending a fortune on this this card. Scott Irwin's working as the Super Destroyer here in this promotion. Who's Killer Tim Brooks in a feud with? Oh, there it is. There's Callahan. So that's about all we got going on in our game world. Let's check on our titles. Bockwinkel is doing very well as World Heavyweight Champion. So is Nelson Royal. Nelson Royal is doing well with this World Light Heavyweight title. So he's coming up on 6 months here. In about another 4 weeks, he'll have it for 6 months. So that's good. Of course, the Midnight Express are doing very well. They're heading on 2 months. And then we got this crazy situation here with the World Women's title. And we're going to have to see what President Blackburn says we're going to do here. Let's just double check that Stanley's still with us. And I'm pretty sure President Blackburn is. And there he is. So President Blackburn will address the AWA faithful at our next television taping. And he's going to let us know what's going on with this World Women's title, because we got a mess on our hands. How on earth that changed on a DQ doesn't make any sense. It's not in the AWA rules. I can't explain it, but President Blackburn will. So Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode. Join us tomorrow because we have a fresh episode that comes out every single day. And if you want this mod and you don't have it already, go to my website, www.braddrake.net/contact. Shoot me a line, let me know you want it. I'll be more than happy to send over the Google Drive link. Also, if you'd like to talk about this mod with us, you can go to facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. That's facebook.com/groups/1987supermod. And last but not least, folks, please give us a like, give this show a share. Let your friends know what's going on with this fun that we're having on this channel, and it has been a blast. And we're progressing with this save, and it's just getting more and more interesting. The plots continue to thicken, and we're seeing some really, really good wrestling and some great action as the AWA crawls out of the cellar and revives from the dead and becomes a power again. So give us a like, give us a share, and please subscribe to our channel and keep showing us some support. Thanks again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in, and have yourself a good day.